Hey, it's A Humble Collector here. In today's video, we're going to take a look at the 4-panel death card of Andreas Schumacher. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and get started. So right off the bat, on panel 1 here, we have, who has greater love than this, to lay down one's life for one's neighbor? And moving the interior, panel 2 has a really cool photo of Andreas. We can see he has shoulder ciphers here that say 19, which is kind of cool. We also see the swallow's nest that he's wearing. I can't remember what the technical German term is. That's like the collector term for them. Those would be worn by musicians. So in this case, Andreas must have been part of the regimental or divisional band. And then moving to the bottom of panel 2 here, separation is our fate, reunion is our hope. And going to panel 3, in prayerful remembrance of Andreas Schumacher, Obergefreiter in an infantry regiment, bearer of the infantry assault badge and the Iron Cross second class, participant in the campaigns in France, Poland, and Russia, born on January 5th, 1914 in Schrobenhausen, and died on July 8th, 1942 in a field hospital in Russia. Now, I was actually able to find a casualty record for Andreas. He was a member of the 10th Company of Infantry Regiment 199, which is the List Regiment. So the List Regiment is the regiment in the Second World War that bore the honorific of the 16th Reserve Bavarian Infantry Regiment, which is the unit that Hitler served in World War I. So that really didn't seem to do a whole lot for the List Regiment. They got to wear a cuff title like a lot of the SS divisions did, but they didn't seem to get any extra like training or equipment, and they seem to have taken a lot of casualties during World War II. And it's a unit that I kind of collect to look out for, but they were attached to the 57th Infantry Division. And Andreas here, according to his casualty record, would die in a field hospital in Korocha, which is southwest of Voronezh, as a result of a shot which fractured his cervical spine, which is the spine in the neck, and then a second shot that went through his shoulder and the back of his neck. Now, the way this is written, this could be one bullet, and they're just saying it severed his spine, it also did this. But the way it's separated makes me think he actually got hit by 2 bullets in roughly the same spot. So I'm thinking he must have been hit by a burst from a submachine gun or a machine gun or something, given how close together those 2 wounds seem to be. And usually when I buy cards, I don't know what unit they were attached to. However, in this case, the seller had actually already done the research and had a picture of the casualty record on the eBay listing. And I actually got this from somebody that I've talked to a few times now. He has an Instagram called death_cards_World War II, and he posts a lot of really cool cards he has in his collection. I'm not active on any social media other than YouTube, so if you want to get some death card content in your life on Instagram, maybe check him out. His store is linked through his Instagram page. I bought from him a few times, never had any issues. His prices seem pretty fair, all things considered. This isn't a paid sponsorship. I paid for this card, but he reached out and said, "Hey, I really like your videos. Would you mind, shouting me out?" So if you guys want to go check him out, you'll probably like his content as well. Now, before we move to the bottom of the card here, I do have quite a few other cards for members of the 57th Infantry Division. Ignaz Fleckinger, who was a Schütze in the 11th Company of the List Regiment, was killed by an artillery wound to the left thigh and foot at La Motte-Belleau in France on June 5th, 1940. Xavier Hagenetter, who was an Unteroffizier in the 5th Company of Infantry Regiment 217, was killed by a gut shot at Amatray, France on June 7th, 1940. That's just 2 days after Ignaz. Johann Thalheimer was an Obergefreiter in the 11th Company of the List Regiment and was killed by a headshot at Korsov, Ukraine on June 29th, 1940. Aloy Pregler was an Oberschütze in the 13th Company of Infantry Regiment 199 and was killed by shrapnel to the back of the head at Polava, Ukraine on October 9th, 1941. Werner Bever is listed in the booklet of the Gustav Hoffmann Shoe Company and was a Gefreiter in the 2nd Company of Infantry Regiment 164 and was obliterated by artillery at Voronezh, Ukraine on September 17th, 1942. Karl Freundorfer was a Feldwebel and Zugführer in the 13th Company of Grenadier Regiment 217 and was killed by a headshot at Boromya, Ukraine on August 14th, 1943. Johann Auer was a Grenadier in the 3rd Company of Grenadier Regiment 217 and was killed by a head injury at Kiev, Ukraine on December 4th, 1943. Johann Friedel was a Gefreiter in the 1st Company of the List Regiment and was killed by shrapnel to the left upper arm, upper leg, and knee at Cherkasy, Ukraine on January 29th, 1944. Georg Scheurer was a Obergefreiter in the 3rd Company of Divisional Group 57 and was killed by a perforating gunshot wound to the chest on August 21st, 1944. And moving to the bottom of the card here, bitterly mourned by a loved one, bowed down by pain and grief, you left us quickly, Only the war did that. Oh, it's hard to believe that you're not coming back, so you must give up your life. Our whole happiness is destroyed. Loving heart of my Jesus, make me love you evermore. That's 100 days indulgence. And moving to panel 4 here. My Father, if it is not possible for this cup to pass from me without me drinking it, your will be done. So yeah, overall, really interesting card. Like I said, I got this from that death_cards_World War II guy on Instagram. As I said before, not sponsored, but he reached out to me, and I bought from him a couple times here, so I thought it was worth giving him a shout out. And yeah, overall, I hope you guys all enjoyed the video. Please leave a comment down below. Love hearing from you. Thank you all for watching. Happy collecting, and I'll see you all again very soon.